Hello gamers, Pet here. Welcome to Gaming Talk episode number 1. It's February 3rd, 2015, and I've been wanting to do this show for like 1 year, but I kept postponing it. So I said, screw it, I will just do it. And now I'm doing it, hopefully. This show is basically about games that we are currently playing right now, games that came out last week, games that should come out soon, and other various games that, hey, I just found out about a cool game that actually came last year, and I was like, holy shit, this game is awesome, why didn't I heard about it, sooner? So I'm going to mention it in this video. So I'm basically planning on doing this show every week, every Tuesday, basically. And I'm also going to start with a question. So what games are you currently playing? So write in the comments below, because I do want this show to be kind of an interactive one. Now, the first thing that we are going to look at is my website. I haven't been updating it since last year, basically. I haven't set up a new giveaway. I'm going to put one soon once I get a couple of new games. I'm also going to start writing articles. I'm basically just going to start cutting up old shows that I planned but never did. So first look remains, reviews remains, gameplay gets removed, spoiled. I have never made an episode about it yet. I'm not sure if it's going to be required, depends. Gaming Talk, this is the episode I'm going, and basically Learn Dota 2 with Pet, it's also a retired show because I don't really plan on playing Dota anytime soon because of various reasons that I'm going to talk in another video. So anyway, website update is going to come soon. So let's see. This is basically my schedule. Really. I decided to start the show by showing you the schedule so you have an idea with the videos that I have to make. And as you can see, it's pretty huge, right? It used to be huger, but I decided to just simply skip some of the games that came out last year and only left some of the important games that I still want to tackle a bit. So these are the most important games that we are actually going to talk about today. These are some of the so-so games, videos that I have to do, and you see I have to update some parts of my website. So what have I been playing this week? I'm still playing AD 2460 basically, which is that browser game. I was sure to set up the Galaxy chat because last time I did a video on this, I kind of showed a couple of Alliance chat and kind of sparked discussions on the chat because of some attacks that my Alliance were kind of planning. I'm currently level 9. I'm still building ships and so on, so it's kind of an interesting game. I'm always coming on. So okay, let's talk about Starbound. I actually started playing this game like 2 days ago again with my girlfriend. I played it for almost 4 hours. It turns out the reason why I decided to play it again is that there is a new huge update that came out like 1 week ago or something like that, and that update actually brings a lot of new stuff, new quests. I can go with my ship to other planets, which basically means other worlds where we are going to mine stuff and go on. So I decided, hey, let's have another spin on Starbound because I totally forgot about this game. It came out in 4 December 2013. I bought 2 copies. We played it a little bit, and then it was like, yeah, there are a lot of stuff that we kind of want to play, and then basically there was nothing for like 1 year with this game. So anyway, I'm happy that they are still working on the game, even that they kind of sold a shitload of stuff. So anyway, a lesson. Guys, how I say on some of the videos that it's always a good idea to sometimes relook, read again about something that you learned in the past. Like I've been using this webcam for like 2 weeks, 2 years, sorry, and I just recently found out that I can zoom in. Basically, it used to be like this. It's like an ultra wide lens, and actually it captures the whole wall, which is kind of bad because you can see stuff from me here, and I'm always sitting like a little bit like that if you check some of my old videos. And look how nice it is now. I can zoom in and you can only see my face. Jesus Christ, you see, this is why it's a good idea to always look into your settings, your software, try to find new software to use because you might find something better. So anyway, this was short of topic. So another game that I decided to buy was Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions. this is actually a really fun game. I remember playing Geometry Wars 2 on Xbox right in 2009 when I actually got my first console, the Xbox 360, and that was a fun game. So when this game came out, I was like, holy shit, this game is kind of intriguing. And now that I actually managed to sell my Dota 2 items and I got about 140 euros, I decided, hey, let's invest into this game and play it a little bit, and it's fun. And I do plan to make a video about it. I like how the graphic looks. I like how they basically made this type of new maps that are not always flat 2D. They are like kind of 3D, like you are playing on this 3D planet, like a sphere, basically. So it's kind of changing the whole perspective of the game, which is kind of nice. They managed to take like a good idea and improve it. Again, I'm going to talk more about the game when I'm making the video. Darkest Dungeon. Jesus Christ, this game looks good. This game looks so good. And when it came out, like, it is going to come out today on 3 February, basically in like 12 hours. And I'm going to make a video on this today. And maybe a couple of Let's Plays episode because the game is fun. Only a couple of episodes. When this game, I basically got a key Saturday at 1 a.m. at night. And I got into the game and I played it for like 5 hours straight, which rarely happens with me. I know I'm a small YouTuber, but I still get access to some indie games. And sometimes like, hey, this game is cute, I'm going to add it to the list, and the list gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm always like, oh my god, I want to play that, I want to play that, I want to play that. But this game actually managed to get me into the game, and I played it for 5 hours because it's an interesting RPG, Lovecraftian, roguelike-ish, very hard turn-based strategy game. Really, it's a fun game, and we are going to talk about this game later today. Really look into it because it's really fun. Then, this is basically the game that actually came out last year. 12th November 2014. I totally missed it. This is the fabulous looking 2D platform game which does involve a couple of puzzle elements, but it's not the core of the game. Basically, it also has co-op, and basically you are playing with one of these characters, and this is a coffin. Basically, the king died, but the king ghosts is not really happy with the place where he's going to be buried, and he's like, hey, find a new place. And maybe you are moving, basically you are moving around with this chariot, and you are picking up gold, and you are progressing to the levels. And again, some of you might know I want to be a game designer. I want to make my own games since I was a little boy. This is why I'm actually making reviews, because it's allowing me to decompose the game, look at all the mechanics and so on. And one of my dreams is to actually make a 2D platformer, and this game is really looking fabulous. It's really made by interesting mechanics, and you really should check this out. I've been playing it a little bit, and it's really fun. It is a little bit punishing because it's a platform game, and sometimes you are going to fall down. Your chariot will remain on top, and you will have to basically reload from the checkpoint, which means sometimes try to get all the stuff again, and all the platforms are kind of suffering from this. So anyway, kind of fun game, really. Look into it. I'm going to say that a lot. Boyd came out. It's basically in early access. It's pretty cheap right now, only €3, and the price is going to go up. It's kind of not sure what to say. It's kind of a strategy game. Basically, you are kind of controlling various stuff. If you control this point, you're going to get this type of units, then your enemy is going to try to get that point. So it's kind of tactical a little bit. I wanted to make a video, but I'm still not sure about it. I mean, the game is interesting, but it didn't appeal too much for me 2 weeks ago. So it's still kind of on the list. That's why I'm mentioning right now. Just try to have a look at the game because it is interesting. Then Grav. I got access to Grav. It's in early access. It's kind of sandbox type game, survival open world. It's made in Unreal Engine, and which makes the game look kind of interesting. I've only entered a bit, but it's clearly in early access. So I decided, okay, I'm going to just put it for later, because there are a lot of these sandbox games that are coming out, and they basically, that's your experience. The alpha and buggy experience. So I'm really waiting for a game like this to finally fully come out. Like, hey, this is a survivor game, open world, multiplayer, play it, it's finished. I mean, Daisy, it's still not done. The Forest is still not done. Rush is still not done. There are a lot of games that are that genre and they are not done. And I'm thinking that it's a genre of not finished games. That's the genre. Okay, iRacing basically came out on Steam. I'm going to make a proper review for iRacing because iRacing is not really a game. It's more of an service. It's kind of an MMO. It's a true simulator. When I say simulator, you really need a steering wheel, a good steering wheel. I am using a Logitech Driving Force GT, and that's good because it has a 90-degree rotation, and you want that because when you do this, you want to for the wheel in game to move exactly like you did. It created a lot of challenge for me. I usually don't like racing games, but because they're always about winning, being the first, like playing versus the AI, being the first. This game is about you controlling the car. The fact that you learn how to drive becomes a better and a better experience, which is rewarding. The first time I was having problems while going on a curve, and I was basically not touching the pedals. I was like, guys, why am I spinning? And then the guys on the floor were, well, your weight of the car went to the front wheels because you were not accelerating at all. So that's why you were losing control. And I was like, oh, okay. So now whenever I'm going into the curve, I'm always keeping the steering, the pedal, the acceleration pedal, at least 10% on it. Just so I will have some control of the weight of the car. Games usually don't do this to you, but this game is doing. It's basically kind of $5 per month, and they don't give you all the tracks. They don't give you all the cars. Some tracks cost $10. Some cars cost $10 or $5. I kind of forgot. And you'll be like, holy shit, a lot of DLCs. Well, again, it's a service. Old people play this. Other pretty passionate guys about racing and not video games are playing this because it's a service that allows you to play with other people, multiplayer, and not like this pub style multiplayer where people crash into each other. There are penalty systems and so on. So anyway, I'm going to make a proper review of iRacing later this year. Grey Goo came out. I don't own it yet. I sent a review request. No one replied. So it's interesting a little bit, but it's kind of expensive for what I've seen that it offers. So it's kind of on the wish list if it's going to be cheaper than this. Not even at 20 euros, I don't really plan on buying it. It turns out that I don't really like strategy games that much anymore. Sometimes the campaigns usually are really linear, and then multiplayer. If you want to play multiplayer, you either need to have a friend of kind of the same level as you, so you can kind of grow together, or you need to invest a lot of time to know all the good strategies. So kind of right now I'm just playing StarCraft whenever, and that's about it, which is okay because they have a league system and whatever. Don't care about it. Gravity Ghost came out. I was planning on doing a video on it. It was on the schedule. It's basically on top, as you can see somewhere. Gravity Ghost, as you can see. Well, the thing is that my aunt died. She was like 82 years old. She never had any kids, so I was the favorite nephew. Occasionally, she was sending me about $300, which was nice for me because I'm not really directly working, only working occasionally. So, well, she died. I had to go to the village and take care of the funeral. So my whole schedule got messed up. So I didn't have time to make a video about Gravity Ghost. But it's an interesting kind of puzzle-ish, platformish with an interesting mechanic because you are kind of jumping, but you are always going to orbit around the planets. So anyway, it's kind of hard to explain. You will have to see it. So you will have to wait for my video in order to do it. So basically, you see, you jump, but then you kind of get pulled by the orbit. So you are probably going to do something like zoop, and then you might just fall down. If you jump over here, you might do something like this. And anyway, you will have to see exactly how the things are being located. So you will get a star and go back to the door and exit to the next level. That's basically it. And it's pretty nicely drawn. It has a story overall, which you are going to unfold, and so on. 868 Hack came out. It first came out on iPad, and now it finally came out on PC. It's a weird puzzle game. Again, I'm going to go into details when I'm making this video. It shouldn't take long. I think I'm going to maybe make this video today. It was pretty interesting. It's also pretty cheap, and you should actually try it out. It's also pretty hard, and I never managed to finish the first part of the sector. I'm still trying to see exactly how it goes, but it sometimes it's fun because the experience is so fast. I can just, when I'm cooking or whatever, I'm putting up the timer on my phone and like play a couple of games and then go into the kitchen, stir the soup or whatever, and then I'm coming back playing a couple of more levels and so on. This game came out. It's pretty cheap. I got a key from the developer. Didn't got into the game because the game didn't seem that appealing to me. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because the game is cheap and the game has been made by one developer, one guy. So I'm always respecting that, and I'm going to try to promote lonely developers because it's hard. Like, I want to be a game designer, but I don't really have good programming skills or good art skills. I'm stuck in the middle, which is really frustrating because I can't really start building things, on my own. But anyway, maybe someday. Besiege came out, and it's really fun and awesome. I'm also going to make a video of it today or tomorrow. It's really fun. Basically, you are building Catapult out of parts, and you have to finish the level. Like, for example, in this level, it might say that you need to kill all those houses and all those dudes. And basically, you are building a Catapult out of different parts, and you are going to try to make it work. Because, again, the Catapult parts are going to be independent, and the Catapult is going to need to manage to hold with all the physics and so on, and those dudes are going to try to attack your Catapult, which is going to break. And it's kind of fun thing to experiment and build different type of catapults to see how you are going to finish that level. So really excited about this game. It's in early access. It's also only €7. Life is Strange came out. It's an episodic story. I bought the first episode. I haven't played it yet. I'm planning on playing it after I finish Far Cry 4. Yes, guys, I'm still playing Far Cry 4, and I'm actually planning on doing a review on Far Cry 4. That's why I'm still playing Far Cry 4. It's kind of a good experience, but the story is taking itself way too serious. Anyway, Life is Strange. It's a story about a young student girl. You can manipulate time or something like that. It seemed interesting when I saw the trailer, and I said, okay, let's buy the first episode. It's only €5. Also, Elite Dangerous, it's kind of next to do because I recorded my review where I talk, but now I need to record gameplay. But I wasn't really in the mood to play Elite Dangerous, so that's why there is no gameplay and there is no review yet. Overture, another fast and small game that came out yesterday. I'm planning on making a fast video on it because it seemed pretty fun and pretty fast. Another fun and fast game where you blew stuff up and then you die and then you try to do it better again and drop and gold gets dropped and then you pew 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 and go around. It was interesting. Now, Armello came out on 22 January. I requested a key right about at about that time, or actually before that, and they only got back to me like 2 days ago. But during that period, I still kept checking the game. I was like, man, this game looks so awesome. I do hope that they will, get back to me. It's basically, look, this is their website. The whole website looks kind of awesome. It's a combination of strategy game, as you can see, with hexes, but also a combination with board games, right? You basically drew cards and you have heroes. You are basically controlling one hero. Another player is going to control another hero and so on, up to maximum of 4, I think. And those characters have various health, like 3 health, 5 health, different stats when it comes to how many cards you can hold in hand, and basically you have to control. There are a lot of mechanics into the game, but the whole thing is kind of exciting because I do like board games, and for a game designer, a board game is kind of an interesting. It's raw at its purest form, where you can actually see the mechanics. which is kind of important. And it was fun. I actually played about 3 games only yesterday a bit, and I do plan to get into more into this game, so I can make a better video. Again, the game is in early access. They had a Kickstarter and have a pretty good team. So these are some of the heroes you can play with. And those cars that you saw there, they are animated. Amazing details. I just can't wait to play this game some more so I can show it too. Death Trap. I'm also planning. It's going to come out. Well, the release date says 4 February. I think it was today. I think maybe they pushed the date by one. Yeah, I think they pushed the date by 1 day. I think. Anyway, I was planning on playing it tonight. I played it a bit on early access, but as you can see, it's an early access game. But the save is going to get wiped when the game is going to come out, so I want to play it then, basically. But those guys, this is a game made by Neocore Games. They made The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, and basically they are using the same engine, kind of the same assets, but they created a tower defense game, which is actually kind of awesome because, on tower defense games, everything is about planning. You plan something, you push a button, and then waves start to come, which basically becomes a game about watching. It's a game where you just watch things happen, and that's about it. You watch so much that some tower defense games actually added, 2x buttons, 4x buttons, so everything will happen faster. Well, here you're actually going to control your main character, and you're actually going to go on the field to attack the monsters yourself. And you are going to go back, and then you're going to construct another tower, and then go back, and you need to be all over the place, which is kind of nice because it's always going to keep you, there and do stuff. Again, and it's not 3D. This is kind of it is isometric. I think you can zoom in, but it's not played like this. It's there isn't a good screenshot. It's basically you basically play like this. So anyway, looking forward to this game. Apotheon, it's actually going to come out tonight. It's a game made by the guys that made Capsized, a pretty awesome 2D platformer with awesome graphics. And basically they are working on this game set up in Greece with a pretty interesting art style. I played it a little bit, and it's kind of interesting on how the mechanic of the combat is and how fast the game is when you run and then you stop and then you can throw your weapon to the enemy. And the story was kind of interesting. I only did the first part, and then I stopped because, again, I can't really start new games while I'm not finishing making videos about older games. So this game is a little bit down to the list, only a little bit down to the list, but I do plan on making a video this week, probably this week. Another game that it's out and it's kind of interesting, it's Out There, that's how it's called. I have access to the beta, which is basically a mix up of Faster Than Light but different, and you will see that when I'm going to make a video. You can actually go to different systems. You can actually mine for fuel, oxygen. You can actually change your ship, but you are not micromanaging people. It's only you alone out there. Get it? That's how actually the story is. You are out there, and it's also available on tabletop. No, not tabletop. iOS basically, and Android, I think, on the tablets. But this is an updated version that is coming on PC. So it's kind of this game was kind of nice. I'm curious. It should come out soon. I mean, in like 1 week probably. I have to check my facts exactly. But anyway, this was the first episode of Gaming Talk. Again, guys, what games are you currently playing? This episode was a little bit longer than I normally plan, mainly because I'm still talking about other stuff and not only about the games, and my gaming list is kind of huge right now. This is why help me, guys, pick a game on what to cover next, or what games did you found interesting on this list that I've showed you. Oh, Sanctuary RPG, we're going to talk about this one next week. It was so fun. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this pilot episode of Gaming Talk with Pet. Let's see what the next. Let's see what this week is going to hold up for us. It's only Tuesday. Well, the day after Monday. Is it Tuesday or Thursday? Tuesday, I think. I always mix them up. Anyway, see you guys soon. Goodbye.